What up, son?
What up?
Before we start the show, I want to do a little R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. It was all sad time in this last week.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd play this real quick from Snoop Dogg's IG when Nipsey Hussle was on his YouTube show. So here we go.
Okay, now I got this little piece called Finish the Sentence. All right. I'm gonna start it, you finish it. Let's get it. I hate it when niggas talk too much shit. If I could work with anybody, I would work with Dr. Dre. If I could smoke with anybody, I would smoke with Snoop Dogg. If I could see anybody perform dead or alive, I would want to see Bob Marley.
True.
I look for blank in a woman. Realness. If I wasn't rapping, I'd be selling something. A lot of it. I'm a blank African. You are a real African, not one of these American African Negroes.
They all laughed at that too because he's for real.
Yeah,
African.
no, he's Eritrean, I believe.
So we want to say R.I.P. Nip,
Yeah.
and we love Lauren London. We got love for her and the family and all the kids, and it's really sad. Joe even came up to me and said, "Mom, I cried." Told him, "Don't cry, I'll be all right."
Yeah, I was very surprised when it happened. I know I was just in here chilling when I seen it, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right? I didn't really know who he was, and literally you guys were just like doing stuff, recording, playing video games and stuff, and then all of a sudden I saw on my Instagram and on my Facebook that
All kinds of
that
stuff.
he got shot 6 times, and then Joey said something while he was playing his game. Apparently somebody said to him something to him over the game. So but I didn't really know who he was, actually, to tell you the truth. You guys knew more about him than I did.
First time I listened to him was when I was in 7th grade, going to Cascade Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
I heard him in a song with him in the game. It was the first time I ever heard him.
Nice.
Used to listen to him.
Like the game.
That song a lot, actually. It's called They Roll. It's him in the game, and I used to listen to that at least 10 times a day.
I mean, maybe we should have probably heard some of him here and there from a different song. I just probably don't remember.
Yeah.
But apparently, he was a staple in the neighborhood, in Crenshaw, where he was from. He's got the store, the Marathon store.
Yep.
So, I mean, all that's about to be super popping more than it already was.
And that guy's a genius. Remember that video I showed you the other day?
Mm-hmm.
Every shirt you buy, if you got the Nipsey Hussle app, when you
Yeah,
get
I
this,
saw that.
you just put your camera right over the
That was
shirt,
genius. Yep.
and you can watch a Nipsey Hussle video right on your phone.
Yep. Lauren London said the marathon goes on. And she's for real. It will go on and on.
Yeah.
All right. So we on our episode 6.
Yeah.
So what up, son? What you got for me today?
Last episode we did the infamous music
moments
stuff. Yeah. So
of music.
I got the most famous ones.
Oh, now we got the top 10 famous moments.
According to WatchMojo.com. Because I watch that a lot. You already know what's up.
Yep.
Number 10 is when the Sugar Hill Gang reached the top 40
Oh, top 40.
with the, what's it called? The Rapper's Delight
Hip hop. Hibbity
This is the first hip-hop-
Don't stop.
hip-hop record.
Yeah.
And if it's from my understanding that a lot of people that had a lot to do with hip-hop at the time
Yep.
and its core did not want this to happen.
Probably not.
Like, what's it called? The lady that put it together was trying to find people in the neighborhood that would help her put a hip-hop record together. And all the DJs she went to were like, hip-hop ain't for no record. They weren't even thinking about it like that.
Yeah, they were thinking about it just a song type deal, or everyone hearing hit wonders.
But she found some dudes who could, rap, and got them to do it. And some of them is actually people don't know, the first hip-hop song ever had ghostwriting in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of those, I think Master G, his rhymes were written by somebody else. I can't remember exactly, but his rhymes were written by another person.
Well, it's not always about what you can do. It's about what you can show.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Sometimes if you can rap and show it, but you can't write it, it don't matter.
Just one's more
If it's
impressive
gonna
than
make
the
you
other.
money.
That's all.
Most of the time, that's what it's about, making the money.
All right.
But you know what? That song drives me crazy sometimes because I was a cheerleader, and that song, they used it freaking all the freaking time for every freaking dance you can think of. Yep, it was insane. I heard it like a bajillion times.
Dun, dun. Yeah. All right, number 9 is way back. Goes way back for number 9.
Way back.
Yeah, it apparently is when Beethoven premiered the Ninth Symphony.
Oh, wow, that's way back. I don't know anything about that.
Well, it was the first time he performed in 12 years, apparently. Like, 12 years
like
of
when?
nothing
Like
from
in the
him.
1800s?
I don't know the date exactly. I can't remember. But I know that it had been 12 years
Beethoven rocked some shit.
before he dropped anything, right? So then he came out and he dropped this fucking Ninth Symphony, and it was after...
They said Ninth Symphony in your face, bitches.
It was after he became tone deaf or something like that. So he put together this crazy ass symphony.
That's tight. You can't even really hear anything, and you're just putting out awesome shit.
Because he understood how to write it, you know.
Already.
I think he just went off based off of writing instead of sound.
He knew.
Yeah, what he knew.
What he knew was supposed to go together.
Yeah, and he fucking did it beautifully, apparently.
That's genius.
Yeah.
He was a genius, apparently. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because he was one of the few.
There's a movie about him, but I never watched it.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. When I did my online school, remember that?
Yeah.
I did a music course.
Oh, okay.
And it taught me a little bit about the different eras of that kind of music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Can't remember all the specifics, but I remember hearing all kinds of different names like Beethoven and Sebastian Bach or some stuff like that. No, well, that's somebody else.
What, Sebastian Bach?
Yeah.
No, I think he is someone else, but he plays the piano.
Okay, I hope I'm right about that.
I think he's a piano player. But they play the same kind of music, classical music and shit.
All right, you ready for number 8?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I was going to say something about this chick who plays the fiddle or the violin.
The fiddle?
Yeah, or the violin. I'm pretty sure she plays both.
Yeah.
But she's trying to bring it to the hip-hop scene.
Remember the guy who...
That's pretty tight.
Who, when we were in L.A., he incorporated his saxophone into his audition. Remember that?
I don't remember that, but that's cool.
There's a dude who like rapped some bars and then he did like a tiny saxophone solo and then kept spitting again after that.
That's cool. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I wasn't in there at that time.
People thought it was amusing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they thought it was, obviously it wasn't worthy to get down to the last 12 to battle it out.
I'm pretty sure people came up to him after that though.
People were like, that was interesting.
Okay, what's number 8?
Number 8 is when Nirvana was on MTV Unplugged, because it was one of Kurt Cobain's last televised performances ever, before he passed away.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad that he passed away.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people will still cry about it.
He was a genius, I think.
You can still go visit like the bench that he used to sit out at and stuff around here. So I heard girls talking about it on the bus one time. Or no, when I was a Lyft driver, they were talking about it in my back seat.
Oh yeah, it's not like far from us, is it? I don't know.
They were like, you can feel the energy. That's what they were saying. And I was interested, but I was like, this is kind of funny. I thought it was cool.
You know what? It was so funny about Kurt Cobain Smells Like Teen Spirit is that like nobody knew what he was saying for a long time, and like every time it'd come on and Tia Vic be like, oh yeah, I love this song, and she would just say words that she wasn't sure she doesn't sound like it, just
random. That one song.
I don't think I learned the words until like freaking 10 years after I listened to it. I know everything he's saying
like
now.
That one song where they randomly say shit all like, what's it called? We didn't start the fire.
Oh yeah.
They're just randomly
Billy
saying
Joel.
Shit. Yeah.
We didn't start. Yeah, I like that sort of. They do just say random stuff. Yeah. They do.
No, that song cracks me up. Number 7.
Number 7
is when Johnny Cash began to perform in prison.
Oh, sweet.
Which was, nobody had done that before, obviously.
Is that Folsom Prison?
I think that was the first one that he did, but he went to San Quentin too, I believe. He went to a bunch of prisons.
That was pretty popular thing.
Yeah,
Went
people
through all
were
the
like,
news and all of that stuff.
it solidified his like outlaw image to be able to, you know, make everybody go. I can't believe they actually let him do that. That's kind of
right?
crazy.
That is weird. I don't think they were going to at first until like I think because the prisoners were getting out of hand or something like that, and they were like, okay, we should probably do this.
But he's singing all this.
I can't really remember, but
Like that one song, the Folsom
movie.
Prison Blues, I think. I have that on my iPod. That's a really good ass song.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain things like, you know, when you watch him perform it and you see the reaction from the prisoners.
yeah.
Like there's a line where he said, I shot a man in somewhere just to watch him die.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just like, yeah. And we're
Freaking
like,
criminals.
damn. And he's just fucking,
Yay.
he's just putting on a show for him and they loved it.
Everybody loves a bad guy. Right?
Yeah. Ready for number 6?
Yep.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalk.
Ooh, moonwalking.
Apparently, Moonwalk changed the game.
Yay.
Have you ever watched Future Man?
It totally changed the game.
You ever watched Future Man?
Yeah.
Have you seen the whole thing all the way through?
No.
There's an episode where they go back in time to when dude's in college,
I
remember?
think I saw that one where
And
he's in the moon suit.
Yeah, he's in the Moon
yeah.
Man suit and they don't know it's him and he's from the future and it's like the 60s or something.
Yeah.
And fucking they're having a dance battle and he's losing and he sees like
An
the moon landing.
opportunity.
He sees the moon landing on the TV.
Yeah.
And he goes, I know what to do. And then he moonwalks and everybody's like silent and they're
Freaks
watching
out.
him. And then they freak out and they're like, oh my God.
Right.
Like they never seen that shit
And then
before.
he won the contest or something.
Yeah, he did. He won.
Yeah, I seen that one. That was funny.
That had me cracking up. And they did the Back to the Future thing, remember?
I don't remember that part.
You remember on Back to the Future when he's playing the guitar?
Oh, yeah.
And he calls Jimmy and he's like, you know that sound you've been looking for?
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
listen
yeah,
to
that's
this." Yeah, and then the fucking...
Like, you gotta see this.
He goes, you know that dance you've been looking for? Well, wait till you see this. I just started cracking up, dying, laughing.
That's good.
I was like, that's amazing.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Whoever wrote that was
Sure,
genius.
I don't know if it was Seth Rogen who wrote it, but I know he has a big part with the show.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He's a good writer.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Number 5 is something that probably moved a lot of people recently if they've seen the Queen movie, because it was his performance at Live Aid, which was like his last performance, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that they ended the movie with, basically.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
When he was in, he just kept it simple, and he had the black thing around his arm and the tank top and the blue jeans.
And he fucking rocked the joint.
And there was fucking like a million people in the house.
So many people there.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine that? Like, would freak me out if I was like trying to like, even just. I was just to introduce them, it would probably freak me out. I'd be like,
I would fucking like have to like soak it all in for 5 minutes before
just
I even
stand there
perform.
and just chill. But it was amazing though
God.
too how he did it. You know, like how he would just how can you make a million people sing back to you like that?
Yeah, and
you
he
know,
did that
it's
call that he
amazing.
does.
Yeah,
And
It was like,
everybody did it with him.
"Hey-oh,
That was probably like the
hey-oh."
best feeling in the world. He lived all of his dreams before he died,
Yep.
which is all that mattered in
That's
the
what I
first
told
place.
you. That's what you should do, just like Freddie Mercury did when they were like, well, what are we going to do? Just go make an album? He was like, yep, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
He used all of his money to make an album.
It's not that hard.
Nope.
It's more fun than hard, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, you
If I'm
guys
being
have lots
honest.
of fun. I see that.
All right, you ready for number 4?
Quattro.
Okay, so I don't know if you know about this. Probably not a whole lot of people do. But apparently, Bob Dylan went to the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, right?
Yeah.
And he used a duo of electric guitars. And this was at a folk festival where people, you know, electric guitars aren't really a folk thing, I
Right.
guess. So he got a ton of booze and stuff from the purist of the festival, you know,
Yeah.
just getting pissed off about it. And they just booed him and they hated
dude,
it.
That's messed up.
But he just kept playing with the duo of electric guitars at his set. He didn't give a fuck. And it was a turning point, signaling the decline of folk and like the rise of rock and roll,
Yeah.
apparently.
But you know what, though? I think if you ask a lot of people who do rock and roll, and stuff like that. They probably got a lot of what they do on their sounds or the way that they write or something from folk music. It's not like folk music is like completely dead or was dead. I mean, now, I mean, it's not like it's super important to anybody, but
it's relaxing to listen to them.
You go back in the day and listen to like stuff that was even like in the 20s and stuff like that, you know, like pearl and sugar plums and blah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though they're not really singing about anything, but if you listen to it, listen to the stuff that was important to them in the days, back in the day, right?
Right.
You know, that's what was weird stuff they sing about, like, you know, Sally being happy in the field and blah, 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 blah.
I think in order to be an artist and to be a good artist, you have to be able to do stuff like that, like push limits.
Yeah, I pushed some limits.
And like it's stuff like that. Like this reminded me when I watched it of when Jay-Z was in Liverpool or something. Mm-hmm. And the lead singer of Oasis.
Yeah.
They interviewed him before Jay-Z came to town, and they were like, what do you think about Jay-Z coming to Liverpool? And apparently he didn't like it. He was like, hip hop doesn't belong in Liverpool, and he's like hella angered about it.
What?
So before Jay-Z came out on his show, when he did go to Liverpool, mm-hmm. he played the audio from that interview, mm-hmm. and then the light shone on him, and he had a guitar, and he started singing Wonderwall by Oasis. And the
Jay-Z did?
Yeah, and the entire crowd was singing it with him.
That's dope.
And if you go watch, you can see the video of it, of him playing the guitar, and he starts singing the song, and the entire crowd sings it with him.
That's tight.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, fuck you, basically.
Right, for real.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have to say anything. Just sang their song.
Yeah.
That's all I got to do. My name's Jay-Z.
Yeah, right.
Go.
All right. Ready for number 3?
Yo.
You might know something about number 3. It's in a movie. Mm-hmm. It's in a movie for a brief second. When Elvis was on the Milton Berle show, I think.
Milton Berle,
yeah. And he danced and swung around and angered conservative Americans.
Yeah.
And it was on Forrest Gump, remember?
Yeah.
When his mom was like,
that's not for teenage eyes or something.
Yeah, I know. That was a turning point, apparently, in like the
that's
what's
like
called?
The beginning of like pop
culture. Yeah.
Pretty much. Elvis was like a really big part of the beginning of pop culture, but like others were involved as well. They just weren't as big as Elvis is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's just a very complicated
I mean, if
being.
anybody doesn't know who Elvis is, he's pretty much like the Jay-Z of like the 1940s or something like that.
And in my opinion, he has one of those names where it's like he might as well be the only one named that. Like I know there's Elvis Costello or whatever, but like you can't say the word name Elvis. I think
the only reason he was Elvis Costello is because his parents probably named it Elvis because of Elvis Presley.
Yeah, exactly.
I think before he was born, there was no Elvis Presley.
That's like that came from him.
Yeah. And side note, Elvis Presley was a twin.
Really?
But his other twin did not survive.
Oh, really? Like Dwight? Like mm-hmm. Dwight? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, like Dwight.
There's an episode of The Office when Dwight says that he said that he had a twin in the womb. Mm-hmm. He goes, but I absorbed, he died in the womb and I absorbed him. He goes,
goodness.
He goes, I'm not sad though. He goes, I'm not sad though because I now have the strength of a grown man and a little baby.
Oh my God. And you know what Elvis did too, that was on Milton Berle and helped other things happen was, like how chicks go crazy like for the Beatles and shit like that, he started all of that shit. Literally like crazy. Yeah. I mean, you see, chicks go crazy over like, Johnny Cash or something like that. That was the
first time they saw it on TV and everything.
Yeah, but you see little girls go crazy after Elvis. Oh my God, it was like freaking insane. It was like the Beatles came to town, you know what I mean? Just if you didn't, back then Elvis was before the Beatles, but I mean, if you want to think about something, that's what it was like, just like that. But yeah, before the Beatles came around, I think the only person before that made that kind of thing happen was Elvis. He brought out all the chickadees.
Yeah.
And they weren't going home. I would have been there. Shit. I go and see a person who just looks like Elvis and I'm out, whoa!
You know what?
Are you singing?
When I think of Elvis, though?
What?
Is the Dewey Cox,
the Dewey
Walk Hard
Cox
version of Elvis when he's performing.
That movie's such a spaz movie. It's funny though. I like it.
And he walks by him because he's got to perform right after Elvis, and he's like, "Fuck," right? So he goes, "You didn't have to kill him like that." And then Elvis gets pissed off, and he goes, "What? What'd you say?" Right? And then he like throws a karate chop at him, but doesn't hit him. Kind of like fakes him out. He goes, "You know what that is?" He goes, "That's called karate." And he goes, "And only two kinds of people know it. The Chinese and the king." And then he goes, "And one of them's me."
Oh my god!
I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like he said that at one point in his life.
He might have.
He said, "And one of them's me."
He's
started
probably
dying.
like I read everything you can think of about Elvis because I was in love with Elvis. I read everything. I even read stuff about Priscilla Presley.
Yeah.
Just so I could know more about Elvis Presley.
That's funny.
So I know a lot about Elvis.
Yeah, no, that scene just cracks me up. I don't know why.
I love his music too.
All right, you ready for number 2?
Yep.
Number 2 is when Jimi Hendrix played the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock.
Oh, hey.
So apparently it's the first time anyone did that on guitar, I think. I don't know. Might not have been, but it was like a protest in a way because of what was going on at the time.
I can't remember. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was the war.
Yeah.
The Vietnam War was going on.
The thick of it.
And they were all trying to be about peace and stuff like that. But like also too, there is a lot of different changes in like rock and roll and pop cultures type stuff where pop music coming together. I mean, a lot of people in the 60s were on all kinds of drugs and on all kinds of freaking
hallucinogens.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean,
Dancing
people were
in the
riding
mud.
on buses and shit about, let's go do acid and have fun.
Like Timothy Leary trying to get everybody high on fucking acid 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the early 60s, or late 60s. I'm pretty sure everybody was high on acid and like LSD, any psychedelics you can think of. People are doing marijuana left and right, obviously.
I'm sure there was a couple of babies born at Woodstock.
Well, that's what they call baby boomers or whatever.
That was after World War II, wasn't it?
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. After World War II, the Cold War happened or something like that. Started happening.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Oh shit, are we all gonna die?" And they all just started
having kids
because they all thought they were gonna, which is stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Shouldn't have kids if you think you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's retarded.
I'm so sure.
All right, you ready for number 1?
Yeah.
Number 1 is when the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show. And the reason why this is number 1 is because it bridged the gap between British and American rock. And it gave way for like people like the Rolling Stones and stuff like that.
Well, I like they say like British and American rock. I don't look at the Beatles as British rock. or American rock.
Yeah.
I just look at them as rock and roll.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, I don't really hear any like...
Rock and roll is American,
well, I mean,
is it
they
not?
use some,
Yeah.
But they use some like, they use some, British words and stuff, I guess, in some of their music, but not a lot.
I mean, they are British themselves. So.
Yeah. But I mean, just because they're British doesn't mean that American people can't listen to it.
Yeah, I know.
It's just weird to hear like, oh, well, there's British rock. I don't know what's the difference between... that there was difference between the two.
I think they went on there and did that song, "I Want to Hold Your Hand."
Yeah.
And that's when everybody went crazy for it.
Yeah, all them chicks went crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but
that's what happened.
they actually, that Dewey Cox story that I was telling you about, the movie that
the Jillian Little Girls came out.
Yeah, the movie that fucking, what's it called?
Yeah.
It makes fun. It's like a parody, scary movie type movie for the history of rock music.
Yeah.
So like, there's even there's him at a talent show, right, with his buddies, and he does a song. I wanna take my hand. That's what it's called. He goes, take my hand, right? And then all the adults just start like getting pissed off.
Yeah.
Right. and all the kids start going crazy and dancing. And a preacher's like, you think we don't know what you're talking about when you say, take my hand? He goes, I'm talking about holding hands. And then he goes, you know who has hands? The devil. And he uses them for holding. And I started fucking dying. I was like, wow, the logic of these people was probably like that for some reason back then. They were tripping.
There's a movie that's coming out because you said Beatles and it reminded me of it. It's it looks like it's called Yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And it's a movie that imagines a world where the Beatles don't exist.
And one guy knows about them.
And only one guy knows about them. So he's just like decides that he's an entertainer, so he decides that he's gonna take all these songs and do his thing, and it looks really funny. The trailer looks funny. It looks like it is called Yesterday.
In the preview, he's like chilling out with his homies or whatever, and they got a guitar, and he's playing the guitar, and he starts singing the song Yesterday, right? And everybody's just watching him in awe.
Yeah, and they start crying. They're like, it's so beautiful.
They're like, did you write that song? And he's like, no, that's the Beatles. And they're like, what?
You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah.
There's this show called Quantum Leap.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever seen that before?
Scott Bakula?
Dude, that's a dope ass show. Everybody should go see that shit. Quantum Leap, yo.
I've never seen that show, but I've two shows that I watch referenced it before. So, yeah.
So yeah, you should watch it. Definitely. But there's one that he jumps into somebody's body, right? Who's like alive in the 60s, and he's sitting on a porch with his sister. Yeah. And he plays a song. He's trying to explain to her why he doesn't want to go to war, right?
Yeah.
And he sings a Beatles song. And she looks at him and goes, "You're going to die." And then, like, holy crap. I was, like, totally in the moment when he was singing the song. It was, you know what I mean? But, like, he used it in the wrong time period that people didn't know about. Because it was a different war. He wasn't going to Vietnam War or something. He was going to a different war, and he used that song. And she was like, "You're gonna die." He was like, "No, I'm not gonna die," but he was gonna die.
I feel like I should watch that now.
You should watch it.
That
because
sounds
it's
interesting.
Dope. It's a good show. He would like leap into like chicks. He would have to be a girl for like however long it took him to figure out what he needed to fix her problem. In her life.
That's interesting.
Or he could leap into, being like a black man in the 1940s. Yeah. And
he's just going through different people's lives,
just
basically.
different people's lives, different situations.
Which is an immense amount, retarded amount that you can probably go
he's stuck because he tried to go in a quantum leap and he's stuck in it.
Oh.
He can't get out. He doesn't know how. He's jumping from person to person. Yeah, and he's just doing it until he jumps back home.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I never knew that. I would have watched that show earlier if I knew all that.
There's a hologram in the show. I forget what his name is. Yeah. But he shows up every once in a while. His name's Sam, I think.
Sam?
Yeah. Sam, who has a computer in his hand called Max. And they help him get through his jumps.
Yeah, no. If you watch
Quantum Leap, y'all.
There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they mention that.
Everyone probably mentions Quantum Leap.
And then the guy from the show makes a cameo on the show after they talk about it. It's kind of funny.
It was an awesome show. I loved it.
All right. You ready for... I think we're going to run through another list probably. Yeah.
What's the list, yo?
This one's different. It's not a top 10 exactly. This one's about the fact... We haven't done a facts you didn't know about certain movies yet, right? Last time we did like Blade or whatever.
Okay.
This time we're going to go through Indiana Jones. And this is basically like every Indiana Jones movie facts.
Right on.
Not all of them, but just the interesting ones, the ones that I could find.
I like Indiana Jones.
And we're going to we'll start at number 1 instead of at the bottom. Number 1 is the main part of Indiana Jones almost went to Tom Selleck.
What?
But he had to decline because he was in the middle of filming Magnum P.I., which I've never seen, which should say a lot about that decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, Magnum P.I. was a good show, like, when it was on.
Yeah.
Like, it was on for a little bit, Everybody was like, I'm going home to watch Magnum P.I. And it was an older person's show. I didn't really watch it that much, but it was on for a while.
Huh. Yeah, he declined Indiana Jones so he could stick to the show. Well,
that's good because I don't think anybody else could really play Indiana Jones that well.
Yeah, probably not. Fucking Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's the shit, yo.
What's it called? All right, you ready for number 2?
Mm-hmm.
They named Indiana Jones after George Lucas's dog. Because its name is Indiana, and I think they just added the Jones to make it sound cool.
Well, it does. It sounds pretty cool to me.
And Short Round, the name Short Round for the little Asian kid.
Yep.
Came from the screenwriter's dog.
His name was Short Round?
Yeah, that's what he called his dog.
Wow.
And the Willie Scott, the blonde chick from Temple of Doom. Her character was named after Steven Spielberg's dog. So all these fucking
characters are named after dogs.
After dogs,
yeah.
Oh
my god. That's retarded.
That just shows how much their imagination is rolling
hard thinking
around.
Going on there.
They're like, They just said, what's our fucking dog's names, dude?
Yeah, luckily we need this back to after the fact.
That's pretty interesting. I thought that was kind of funny when I saw all that. Okay, so most of it was actually shot on location. So not all of it, but most of what you see in every movie is probably
the actual place.
Yeah, that's probably where they are.
That's cool.
And
because they were in a lot of places, weren't they in like Ethiopia or something?
Yeah, all kinds of places.
Like Germany.
Apparently, it caused problems, right? And a lot of people got food poisoning.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Harrison Ford.
They're in different countries and stuff.
Harrison Ford got pretty sick, right? And that scene. The scene that they shot when the dude comes at him and he's swinging his sword, showing his swords off.
Yeah.
And then he just pulls his gun out and shoots him. And he's like, fuck that, you know?
Yeah.
Apparently Harrison Ford decided to do that.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't feeling that well. They had a whole fight scene that they were supposed to do.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah.
Fuck it, I'm just shoot him.
I'm just going to shoot him. And they're like, okay, that could work.
That works.
And it did. And people love that. That scene is a pretty classic scene.
Yeah. I like it. I love Indiana Jones.
Okay, you ready for number 4?
Yes.
There was a lot of 007 influence in the Temple of Doom, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's somebody named Mr. Round in 007 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Short Round, that kind of similar. And then Sean Connery was one of the original Bonds. Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was also played Indiana Jones' dad, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And apparently when he gets shot in the movie, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, you're fucking 40 years late, right? The guy that shoots him in the movie is actually a Bond villain from when Sean Connery played James Bond.
Oh.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
That's crazy.
And he shot him with a classic James Bond pistol.
That's funny.
Right? They're just putting these Easter eggs in there for everybody, and nobody's going to catch ever.
That's crazy.
Unless you watch the video I watched.
I would have never thought of that.
That's kind of cool, huh?
Yep.
I like when they do shit like that. It just makes shit more interesting to me. All right, number 5.
Yeah.
When they, whenever Harrison Ford had to deal with snakes, they used real snakes, right?
Yeah.
And lizards that look kind of like snakes, more of the lizards, but still snakes in there.
Ew, yeah.
But apparently Harrison Ford is not afraid of snakes in real life.
Ew.
So when you see him being terrified in the movie, he's
not really terrified.
He's not really that scared.
He likes the snakies.
So you can tell how good of an actor he is by how scared he is by the snakes. If you can decide by those scenes.
F that crap. No snakes for me.
You know who's incredibly scared of snakes? And if you go look up a video of him getting scared by snakes, it's hilarious. Bam Margera.
I've seen it. I've seen him.
He starts crying. He literally starts crying.
He has a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, he's like he's gonna die that second or something.
I think I've seen it on one of his shows.
Oh my god! I started cracking up. I don't know why. It just made me die laughing.
Like one time he's like, "Dude, is that a fucking snake?"
Yeah, he just trips
out.
All right, you ready for number 6? There's 2 more.
Yeah.
The PG-13 rating was created because of Indiana Jones. At the time, there was only PG and R, and they were like,
"That's a good fact."
We're like, we don't know where to put this one, so they just created PG-13.
They're like, it's in between. Yeah. We don't know.
They're like, you know what, 13's...
Let's just put 13. That sounds old enough.
Kids start smoking at 13 anyway.
Right. They're old enough to see all this crazy violence.
Yeah, so that was created because of Indiana Jones.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
When did the first Indiana Jones come out?
Fuck, like around Star Wars or after Star Wars, probably in the 80s.
Well, the first Star Wars came out in 1977.
Yeah.
So somewhere around that time.
Indiana Jones, I don't know if it was after or before.
I'm not too sure. I can't remember.
I'm going to have to look it up because I'm kind of...
I don't even like... Sometimes I get the Indiana Joneses mixed together.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. Because they kind of look the same, except for the first one doesn't look as much as the same as the other ones, I suppose.
First one came out in 1981. The second one came out in 1984. The third one came out in 1989. And the fourth one came out in 2008.
What was the third one?
The third one is The Last Crusade.
And then the second one is the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
And then the first one is just Indiana Jones.
It's the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That one was cool.
Yeah, I remember. One of them is apparently hella boring from what I've heard, but I watched them a really long time ago, so I'm gonna have to rewatch them again.
Well, like, they're all for like the same thing.
You know what was dope though?
Some sort of crazy relic.
I don't really like rides.
Looking for
I don't go on rides. You know that.
Yeah, that was your favorite
thing. The Indiana
thing.
Jones ride from Disneyland was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was your favorite thing.
It was the coolest shit
pretty
ever.
Cool, actually.
I really liked the movie at the time, so.
Yeah,
I
it was
like,
a cool.
whoa.
It was a cool ride. I like how they make the big rock ball look like it's coming at you.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get screwed up, and then all of a sudden,
It's like we're gonna die, and then we fall right below.
You're at Disneyland. Why would you die?
We were even we were in like a lava.
We're gonna charge you $40 for this hat.
We were in like a
$100 for some food.
It was like we were in a volcano at one point too. It was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. I liked it.
Whoa!
Thumbs up, Disneyland.
And the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was dope too.
That was pretty dope. They spruced it up a bit since the last time I was there, which was like 1990.
They spruced it up 1,000 times more recently. Did you hear about what they did recently?
No.
Well, apparently, some people went onto the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and they're rolling in the part where the ship is and they're going slow, you know, and you can see the pirates in the like cave type place. And all of a sudden, fucking Johnny Depp comes out as Captain Jack Sparrow for real, and he's doing like a little act while people float by him.
He does it sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Can't
they
do
pay
it all
him.
the time.
No, but I guess they pay him on a good day to come.
They gotta be paying him hella then.
And he comes and actually does it for a
I
little
want to
bit.
go on a Johnny Depp day.
Right? That would be crazy. And it's actually him right there in front of you.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. I'd be tripping out if I saw that.
That's a dope ass ride, though.
I'd be hella satisfied with that ride.
Right?
Fucking. All right, you ready for the last fact?
Okay.
Apparently, when he's somewhere where you can see hieroglyphs in the movie, and if you look closely at the hieroglyphs, you can see R2D2 and C3PO.
No
So
way.
next time you watch Indiana Jones and you notice hieroglyphs,
You gotta check it out.
look for R2D2 and C3PO. It's in it. And if you watch the Temple of Doom, they go to a club, and the name of the club is Obi-Wan.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
It's probably right because they're in like a Chinese place.
Yeah, so if you go...
Nobody even would think about it.
If you go and you look at it's called
Ah,
Obi-Wan, the club.
that's
I was
crazy.
like, oh,
That's
dang.
fucking hilarious.
Isn't it?
Man, I never thought of stuff like that before. I guess, well, George Lucas is the one who made it.
Yeah. They come up with
He's the
shit like that.
freaking super, probably man of Easter eggs
Yeah.
in movies and shit.
Okay. So since we ended that list a little early, I'm going to do another list that you'll definitely like, okay?
Okay.
If
Well,
that's
how
all right
long?
with you.
Well, how long are we?
We're at 38 minutes right now.
That's it.
Yeah, and this one should be kind of quick.
Okay.
This one's for old school, stuff you didn't know about old school.
Okay.
I got about 6 facts since we love that movie so much.
Okay.
Right? Apparently it was intended to be a comedy version of Fight Club. So
Old school?
Yeah, so if you watch it, you can see similarities between Fight Club and the
I can sort of like
Yeah.
when they're on the ledge or whatever.
Yeah, or when they're doing meetings in the living room and he's talking to everybody. Yeah, it's like it actually kind of feels like
I
it.
just love it when he goes, Blue, do you trust that I do not want you to die here tonight? And this old man's like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he loved Blue.
I like it when
Blue,
Will
you're my
Ferrell.
boy. Love it.
I like when Will Ferrell tries to scare him and screams at him.
He runs.
And nobody fucking moves.
It's like, wait, see.
Apparently, okay, number 2. You ready for number 2?
God, I love that movie. It's a good movie.
Apparently, the studio was not confident in Vince Vaughn being the comedic role.
Why not?
I don't know, but he was apparently
Vince Vaughn.
he was signed on last minute for the movie, so like they got him last minute before they started shooting.
He's like one of the best parts of the whole movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. He's hilarious. That movie.
Yeah.
He makes everybody do all the stupid shit.
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about? This house is great. He goes, we get a little sand in here, get a little bubbles going.
His earmuffs.
I know he tells the kid earmuffs and dude to swear. What if he's going to talk about stuff he doesn't want him to hear?
Me and Brandon, we go, cheese. Sometimes, right? Because Vince Vaughn does it in that movie. You know what I'm talking about? He goes, you guys know me? He goes, you guys used to throw me in the dumpster or some shit like that.
He's like, oh yeah,
cheese. And he goes, cheese. And me and Brandon just say it all sometimes.
Well, and the fact that, what's his name is the school's...
Jeremy Piven?
Yeah. He's like the dean or some shit.
He's the dean of the whole college. And they just giving him a hard time all the time.
Like even in here too, he tells him earmuffs, and he's even like holding the baby's ears so that the baby doesn't hear anything. That shit tracks me up. Like too, and Frank the Tank, and what's that other kid's name? I can't remember what the other kid's name was.
Fuck, me neither.
It was like
It was the Puerto Rican kid. Is that what you're talking about?
He was like he wasn't the Puerto Rican. He was like the Jewish dude.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
My favorite scene from that movie of Jeremy Piven's is when Will Ferrell attacks him, right? And he's running away from him, and he goes, "That man accosted me." He goes, "You saw it," and he runs away from him. Remember?
Yeah. I like it when he goes, so what kind of band you got up there? He goes, yeah, because I own 5 speaker cities, and what am I, a piece of shit? I got some alt college rock band up there. He's like, just sit back and watch the show. And it's a fucking Snoop Dogg.
I thought it was funny when he was doing the Olympic thing with a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture right here.
Vince Vaughn's fucking hilarious.
Love it. I love it.
Are you ready for number 3?
Okay, what's number 3?
Okay, when Luke Wilson goes home early in the beginning and catches his wife being all weird.
Yeah.
When he's talking to her in the kitchen afterwards, and somebody knocks at the door, and he answers the door, it's the weird guy with the mustache.
Because he's there for like his gangbang or whatever.
Here for the gangbang, right? Remember? And fucking apparently that's Todd Phillips, the director of the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, he directed the movie, and if you watch The Hangover, he's also the director of The Hangover, and he's the weird guy with the mustache in the elevator.
Oh, okay.
And he's always
that lady.
Yeah, he's always weird guy with mustache in his movies.
That's funny.
I thought that was kind of crazy.
That's a good fact.
And apparently Todd Phillips is making a fucking new movie, trying something different. Can't remember exactly what it was. But he's fucking making a new movie. I gotta look it up. Hold on.
Who is it? Todd Phillips?
Yeah, Todd Phillips. What is it? Oh, let me fucking look.
Todd Phillips, new movie.
Oh, he's doing the Joker. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, I saw like previews of that.
Yeah,
well, for a second, I was at work. I didn't watch it all.
Which is, they're trying to say is a little different from what he normally does, which is comedies, basically.
It looks like it's like a really dark
version.
And
it's its own version, too.
Like, it might be a dark comedy type deal, you know? You might want to seem things are funny, but they're not really funny. It's only really funny to him, sort of, type deal. Yeah. It looks really weird.
It looks pretty good, though.
And my Joaquin Phoenix looks like a really weird Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it.
Well, he's just weird looking. But we'll see.
I mean, the way they make him look is just, I don't know, I like it.
I heard he lost weight for the part because of how thin Joker kind of is.
Yeah.
And Zazie Beetz, the chick in that movie.
Yeah.
She said that they had to reshoot a lot of scenes because Joaquin Phoenix lost weight.
Because he was
super skinnier than he was in the beginning shoots, so they had to go back and redo stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Right? All right, you ready for number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Will Ferrell's gymnastics routine when he's doing the, what are those called? Streamers?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when he's doing the streamer. Apparently, they wanted Luke Wilson to do that, but he was too tired to do it. So Will Ferrell took over and was like, I got it.
He's doing like the aerial gymnastics, I think that's what it's called,
like
or something.
He's
got those little twirly things.
He ends up on both of his knees and like puts his head down softly. Remember at the end?
Yeah.
That cracked me up.
That's so funny. I loved Old School. It's so good.
Yeah. Number 5 is a funny fact. Apparently, when you get naked in movies, they give you if you're a dude, they give you a marble bag, is what they call it.
Yeah, what's that?
And it's basically a little pouch that they hook up. It's basically a marble bag that they tighten to your private parts, so your private parts aren't exposed while you're completely naked. You know?
Yeah.
And then they don't film the front of you; they just film around you.
Yeah.
So nobody sees it. But apparently, Will Ferrell declined to wear these.
Oh, so he just said, fuck it, I'm going.
He said, I'm going nude.
I'm doing it, yo. I love it when he runs down. He's like, this girlfriend pulls up on him. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, we're streaking. We're running through the quad and we're streaking.
Yeah, and when he's in the car and he's butt naked, and he goes, you think Dairy Queen's still open?
I love it. It's awesome. So or when he's like... at the birthday party, remember? And he gets shot in the thing, and he was like, he was like, dude, you're awesome. He was like, you're funny. He goes, I like you.
He goes, I like you, but you're crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How Tech 9 starts a verse in one of his songs.
And he's like, what does he tell that kid? He was like, drop down and give me 20.
I think he said, I said ice. Now you drop down and give me 20 blue at the fucking kid's birthday party or some shit.
Or Vince Vaughn smoking a cigarette.
As the clown.
Yeah, and he tells somebody else to act more like an adult or something.
He goes,
come on now, we're at a kid's party.
He goes, put your fucking mask back on.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He goes, you're traumatizing these kids.
He's a clown and he's smoking cigarettes and drinking. It's awesome.
Okay, number 6, this is the last one. Apparently the house party scene with Snoop Dogg when he came out to perform was the last thing that they shot all together.
That was the very last one.
Because
oh man, that would have been such a good party. I bet you they had a great party.
Apparently Snoop Dogg didn't necessarily want to be in Starsky and Hutch from what I hear. Mm-hmm. But he did it as a favor for Todd Phillips, the director, because he made that movie as well. Mm-hmm. Or something like that.
I love Snoop Dogg.
I don't know. I think he did a favor for Todd Phillips, or Todd Phillips did a favor for him by making him in Starsky and Hutch. Actually, that's what it was. He gave him the favor by putting him in that movie, so he returned the favor by being the performance in this movie. You know,
I love it.
And apparently, Snoop Dogg took over an hour to get out of his trailer.
Come on, it's awesome.
It took him over an hour to get out of his trailer.
Sweet.
Right? I was cracking up. I was like, damn, that's kind of funny that's the last scene, and it's like one of the first ones in the beginning, right?
Vince Vaughn is like one of my most favoriteest actors.
That movie with him and Owen Wilson, when they go work at Google, that movie is underrated.
It's Internship, hell yeah, dude, that shit cracked me up.
That movie is hilarious.
He goes, even though all of your sayings are lost in 80s parody movies, he goes, I love you guys.
It's just funny because they totally winged it, right? They totally winged it.
Or when they're like doing
down to it.
When they do the interview on the internet and they're at the library waiting in line, and the little girl's like, "Are you done yet?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Here, go get yourself some snacks or something."
You know what the tagline for that fucking movie should have been?
What?
If they had a catchphrase, it should have been "Fake it till you make it."
Right? That was awesome.
That would have been perfect.
Dude, and the fact that he's like constantly like unlike a lot of movies, he's always the guy who like looks at the bright side.
Yeah.
Like in that movie, he lost it for a minute. And then Owen Wilson brought him back.
Yeah.
They brought him back. It was awesome.
Do you know there's a video on YouTube?
Good movie.
Of, you know how Owen Wilson in a lot of his movies, he goes, wow.
Yeah.
He's like, no. Apparently somebody put together a compilation video of every wow Owen Wilson has ever made.
They make a music or something, a song.
No, it's just a compilation of him going wow a bunch of times in
I don't
every
wanna
movie.
see it.
I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, oh my god, this guy, it's just got a very distinct wow that people remember apparently.
They were pretty good together. But I mean, Vince Vaughn and like Jeremy Piven, they've been going together for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, in the same shit. They were in Rudy together.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they in PCU together?
Yep. That was a dope movie too.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That movie was dope, dude. That movie was so funny.
I've only seen it once, but I remember it.
Jeremy Piven was really good in that one.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And his hair was kind of funny too.
Well, he was like way bigger and fatter and big.
He just looked different.
Yeah, he looked different.
Yeah.
You could probably tell it was him.
Oh my god.
I love Vince Vaughn too on Old School.
Yeah.
When what's his name's getting married, he's like, "Don't do it, don't do it."
Yeah, the whole time.
So you still got a chance, don't do it. He goes, "See, look at the wife, look at her, she's judging me. Look, she's saying, look at me, look at the baby, look at me, look at the baby." Oh my god, I love it.
He talks so fast.
I know, right?
And he's good at it.
He is.
Yeah.
You're like, you think what? What did he say?
Did you know that Owen Wilson can skateboard? Like he's really good at skateboarding.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I saw a video of him like actually skateboarding. He's pretty fucking good.
I can't assume that Vince Vaughn is good at skateboarding. He's rather tall.
Yeah, probably not.
He's like weirdly tall.
Remember
what does he say on the internship? He goes, "You're what you call it tall. I'm normal tall."
Yeah. The last two things that I saw Vince Vaughn in were very different from each other.
Yeah. Like what?
I think it was called The Delivery Man. You ever watch that?
I think so.
He was a guy who donated sperm a lot.
Yeah, and like all those kids were his.
Yeah, and
kids.
he ends up meeting all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like 30 of them.
That was a good movie.
That was a really good movie.
It was a really good movie.
It was a really good movie.
It was good.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
And then the one after that, it wasn't a movie, it was a TV show.
Yeah.
It was True Detective. Did you ever watch that? He's on season 2 and he plays, I think it's season 2.
Is he?
He's on season 2 and he plays like a gangster mob kind of guy.
No, I haven't watched any of those yet.
It's completely different.
Everybody said they're good.
Yeah,
I'm always looking
good.
for new stuff to watch.
Honestly, the one with Vince Vaughn wasn't my favorite season, but they're pretty good though.
I think anything with Vince Vaughn is a good season.
It goes, what's it called?
I don't know. I haven't seen him lately though. I mean, he's getting kind of old.
The first season is you get Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey together.
Woody Harrelson is so dope.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
That's the duo that they give you in the first season, right?
And a bag of chips.
And then in the second season, the duo they get, because it's changed. It's like an anthology series, and it changes.
Right, and now it's the guy.
And then in the second season, it's Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell, right?
Right.
And then in the second season is, I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Mahershala Ali. Or
right,
whatever.
and they're like, I think what they're doing is there's these newer detectives that are asking him about an older case.
Yeah, there's this colder case, and Steven Dorff. You know who that is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, that's
he
the duo
was the
now.
one, the dude in Blade.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's not bad. In True Detective, he did a pretty fucking good job.
Yeah.
You should watch that show. It's good. It's an
I know
HBO
I watched,
show.
like, I got caught in it for a minute. You know, I was like watching it for a second. It was like interesting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know why I'm watching this right now because I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm watching the show. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'd stop.
Remember what I showed you earlier, what I just bought? Complete series of Lost.
Of Lost?
I
That
got every
shit's
fucking
dope,
season.
Dude. I'm sorry. People used to be like, oh, that's stupid show. I'm
yeah,
just like,
and nobody gets the jokes from it. Whenever I see jokes on TV, I laugh at them, and everyone's like, what is that, right? Like there's a joke on The Office, right?
Yeah.
When Dwight is teaching the new guy how to be a salesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving him tips, but all the tips he's giving him have nothing, quizzing him and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So everything he's asking him has nothing to do with selling paper.
Yeah.
Right? And he asks him something outrageous, and then after he's like, what does that got to do with something? And he goes, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, next question. What is the Dharma Initiative? And And I just started fucking cracking up.
Okay, so remember that's good. That's good.
Yeah, no,
I gotta watch some of that Lost season.
Yeah, no, I have it.
I got some of those CDs.
I'm gonna watch it season by season, and then I'm gonna watch each behind the scenes after I watch the season.
Cause tonight I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been reading the first book.
Ooh, so excited.
6 episodes in
You know
the
what's really
season,
weird?
very last season, huh?
Is that homegirl Khaleesi, whatever her real name is, like in other
Amelia
movies?
Amelia Clark.
Worlds out of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I have no idea who she is because I don't know what the fuck she looks like without that
She's
blonde
on
hair.
what's it called? Solo.
Like all that blonde hair,
Yeah.
like makes her look. Because if she don't have blonde hair, I don't know who the hell she is.
That's like her look.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, no, she's also Sarah Connor on the new Terminator.
Yeah, I knew that, but like I was like looking at some of her Instagram stuff, like
Yeah.
all these other pictures, and like the things she's gonna wear for her, you know, when they go out and watch the new Game of Thrones or whatever, and she's got like dark lipstick on, and her hair's all dark and red, and it's weird. She looks half dead, but I mean, she looks different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't look like her. I
You
think
know
that's
what
like what she's going for, but.
You know what I saw on Facebook the other day? I saw a video of, it's like a viral video
Yeah.
from Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's this Pakistani dwarf dude that looks exactly like Peter Dinklage.
Mm-hmm.
But just like a Pakistan version of him, right?
Yeah.
And he works at a restaurant or something like that,
Weird.
a bar, and people love going there because of that guy, because he looks like Peter Dinklage. and they
Well, lucky for that guy,
He's
then.
like a mascot for the place he works at.
Is he making the place extra money, or are they giving him
because
money?
he says when he's not there, people are upset that he's not there. They're like, "Where's that guy, man?" You know, whenever.
Yeah.
So like whenever he's not there.
Okay, can I just say that I dropped my phone in oil this week, and I can't take this freaking picture
Seriously?
without my pop socket. What's wrong with me?
That's weird.
Because I can't hold my phone like a pop socket holds on to my phone when I take a picture.
Life hack.
Oh no!
Use your pop
what
socket
shall I do?
as a
I just gotta wash my
headphone roller.
thing, wash it off. I literally feel like a jackass for dropping my phone in a bucket of oil at work like I'm a retard.
That's kind of funny.
But luckily my phone's waterproof and I washed it off.
Pretty
and everything was
fast.
cool.
Yeah, you called me immediately.
I know, right? I almost started crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, Eli! I was like yelling at Eli like he could do something for me. I'm so sure. Okay, so first off, before we leave, I want to shout out some Instagram peeps.
Yeah.
Always going to give love to Underpaid Clothing.
Yeah.
Always. I'm trying to maybe talk to her and maybe see if we can get some sort of thing going on where maybe we can add Troublesome onto the Underpaid Clothing.
We're coming
Maybe
up with
to
our
see
own
if something
logos.
can go on with the intertwining the two in some way.
We're coming up with our own logos at the moment for some clothes.
So people go check her out, Underpaid Clothing, IG. They always got some cool hoodies and cool t-shirt ideas that she has out, stickers, and she'll send you stuff if you help her with like surveys and things like that. So
Yeah.
she's pretty cool, like to share her Instagram quite often. Also, we're going to go, I'm going to go see Gifted Gab on the 28th
Yeah.
because she's coming out with her new album.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a few songs that I already listened to. Keep my eye on them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to love me that way. She probably do it way better than I do.
Yeah.
But everyone go check out always Gifted Gab Instagram.
Uh-huh.
You know what's hella funny too? I was watching on her thing.
Yeah.
I was watching Instagram and some bitch tried to talk some shit about
yeah,
her
I know.
name. Did
I
you
saw
see
it.
that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And Gab was like, I've been waiting for some bitch to say some shit because I'm a real lyricist. I was like, yeah, we about to hear some shit. I'm so excited. Go, Gabby, get her.
I just listened to Blime's new album that just came out.
Oh, they just did like a
She just
a
did-
thing in Snow the Products video.
Oh,
They
yeah?
just did like a little, hey, we riding in the car with Snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I think she shout them out in her new song, Snow
That's
the
pretty
Product.
cool. I was going to ask you something because I got some new music coming,
Mm-hmm.
even though I just dropped some new music.
Yeah. The progression of Little Nick.
I'm working on some features with some people. Not gonna say who right now.
Yeah.
But right now I have 4 lined up. Right.
4?
Yeah, already.
Damn.
And I was wondering if you think I should hold on to those and release them one by one through time.
Yeah.
Or should I hold them together and drop them in a little EP type album all together?
Well, I think that you should do like keep dropping your songs from your album you have now, right? And then maybe every, once a week, drop one song, new song, and then drop another song from your, but keep promoting your old stuff, and not just give up new stuff right away.
So just one by one then.
Just one by one. Don't do like a whole entire at one time. You know what I mean? Keep people interested, you know what I mean? Because I've been noticing that on like Instagram. If I ain't fucking shooting a picture every goddamn day, I'm getting lower and lower in followers. Like I was like at 282 at one point, and now I'm back to 271.
Which is
That's
weird.
Crazy weird, right? I'm like, I didn't do nothing to hurt nobody's. I don't really care though. You know what I'm saying? I
noticed some people that I thought were pretty cool that unfollowed me, and unfollowed them recently because I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Fuck that.
So whatever, whatever, like people following me just to get a follow, and that's cool and everything, but like I don't always follow you back if I don't like what you're throwing down or what you have. I follow you
back if I know you, and that's the fucked up part. Is somebody that I followed back unfollowed me, so I was like, fuck you then.
That's
and
not
I unfollowed them. It's kind of disappointing. That's what I would call it.
BS, man.
Fucking up the game.
Just like I said on Facebook the other day. People living for the likes. Stop living for the likes and just start living, bitches.
Yeah.
That's what we doing over here. I don't care if I got 280 or, 1,000 anymore. I'm just living for the day. And if someone says they like my shit, then they like my shit. My ultimate goal is to get your guys' music out there and to let people know that I am a way to get in to your guys' music. That's what I'm there for. Most of the time I like to play your guys' music. I repost your stuff. I do it on my what is that, my wall or whatever, or when you just take the 24-hour pictures or whatever. Constantly doing that stuff. On my story. That's what I do's it for. And I like to share other people's Instagram stuff. There's this guy named Ethos. He's from Seattle. He's been trying to do it. I should have went to that thing last night in Nicholas instead of being old and falling asleep.
I know there's a lot of people there.
I know, right? I should have went, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Why didn't you wake me up? You should have said, Mom, go now.
I thought you were there, and then you walked in, and you were.
I passed out in my bed at like 7.
You look like you just got up from somebody knocking you out.
I lied down for a minute. I'm like, oh, it's nice and warm here, and I closed my eyes and woke up at like 8:30.
Paris Alexa was there.
Yeah, she was the host or judge. Travis was there.
Tyler Drops was there.
Yep, there was a lot of people there, and I missed out because
Schemes was there.
I'm old.
Tyler Drops, Tyler Drops, right? He made helped make a lot of the beats on Travis's album, and he also just made the new beat for like the new Joey Badass Flatbush Zombies.
Right on.
Beat all that shit.
Well, hopefully the same people will be at Gab's thing, and maybe I'll be able to meet them there.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
I should have went. I'm this old, people. Sorry. Could have gave you guys something to talk about, or we could have talked about something cool.
I was making music.
I was asleep in my room like an old person. Shit. But went to bingo with Nanny today. That was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't win shit, though.
It'll happen.
One day, right? One day.
Modest Yahoo.
Yeah. Good shit right there.
All right, we're at an hour and 3.
All right, well, let's say that we're out then.
All right, I guess that's it. That's a good episode. We just ran through
Peace
a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
Yep.
Like 2 lists and a tiny list.
Yeah, we'll be back later.
The listers on the podcaster.
Yep. All right, say bye, Mom.
Peace.